Welcome to another impactful episode of HP Unplugged. Today, we are honored to feature Shri K. Vinod, Executive Director Corporate Finance, who is recently elevated to the position of Chief Finance Officer of our beloved company HPCL. With nearly 3 decades of experience in the downstream oil sector, Shri Vinod has held several key positions across HPCL, including roles in LPG, aviation, integrated margin management, and international trade and supplies. His strategic insights and financial expertise have been instrumental in driving innovation and delivering exceptional results for the organization. Notably, he pioneered the implementation of hedging in aviation turbine fuel and LPG, providing critical solutions in the volatile markets. As a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI, and a qualified information system auditor, Shri Vinod's commercial acumen and leadership have consistently contributed to HPCL's financial strength and operational efficiency. We are eager to gain insights into his strategic vision as he takes on the additional charge of CFO, navigating HPCL's financial roadmap in a dynamic and competitive environment. So without further ado, let's dive into the world of Shri K. Vinod. Sir, thank you very much for coming on the episode of HP Unplugged. A very, very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sudipto. This is something I've been looking forward to, and I look forward to a great conversation for the next few minutes.
So the first question that we would like to ask you is, you have been recently given the charge of CFO, and you have had very numerous leadership positions throughout your career, like in commercial LPG, in international trade supplies, IMM. So if you would like to take some key moments from your career and let us know about them, that would be great.
Yeah, I have been very fortunate to have varied experience in my tenure thus far in HPCL. Major part of my career was in the refinery in Vizag, and then corporate strategy, and then the important role of oil price risk management, in international trade, in IMM and all that, and then came into marketing after a long time. My desire to come into marketing was there for quite long because I had spent sufficient time in refinery. What I recall in terms of my key functions while at marketing is in aviation SB, which was a short tenure but a very sweet tenure, I would say, where we were engaged with price negotiations with ACCO, and in abroad location like St. Petersburg with Gazprom and all that, and where we were able to secure business after quite a long time in collaboration with us teams, marketing and sales teams. There in aviation, the key highlight was also where we were able to bring about change in the aviation turbine pipeline that we have got from Mumbai refinery to the airport. And that amount was frozen for quite a number of years. So during my tenure, we were able to get the oil companies together, get them to agree so that we could revise that price, and that contributed to profitability about 4 to 5 crores per annum on a continuous basis. That was one change. And then I was able to bring about, basis on my learnings in my earlier tenure in oil price risk management, I was able to introduce hedging at aviation. So those were the key things that at aviation. In LPG, it was a very, I had a tenure from about 2017 to 22 before I moved here. And there was able to bring about numerous changes, especially in the ND discount module, where everything was on email. So there we were able to bring it into a CRM, initially into a web-based portal, so that all the information could be available for all the stakeholders for review and for posterity to check on how we had approved and what was the discount history. So that change, with my team, I was able to bring about a change. It was the first time we had introduced a portal. Finally, we moved to CRM as a tool, which stood us in good stead when we moved to SAP, actually, when the whole system was brought into SAP. That was one major change. And there again in LPG, I had the opportunity to introduce fixed pricing, which was again implementing my learnings from my international trade experience, wherein we were able to introduce the products the first time, which helped improve the profitability of the SBU.
Sir, thank you very much for giving us the key highlights of your career. Now, one of the highlights that really, comes to our mind is that of the hedging process that you initiated in HPCL. And so, what was your thought process behind it, and how did it actually, boosted the profitability of the company?
Thanks for the question. I would say that it was just an objective to cross-apply my learnings, which I had gained in my earlier part of tenure while at oil price risk management, handling the desk. I should say I was fortunate to be exposed to the oil price risk management initiative somewhere in 2006-7. Our company had embarked on setting up an oil price risk management desk, because as you know, the oil prices are most volatile, and they have got a significant impact on our profitability. So the learnings there, I was part of the team which was selected for that. After having spent about sufficient time in corporate strategy, when this desk was being set up, I had requested that I be given an exposure in that, and I was fortunate that my seniors placed me there. And the learnings from that period, we implemented risk management in HPCL in 2007. And although it was a short tenure before, there was this whole Lehman crisis in 2008, by which we had positions open with Lehman and the entity itself. And but all those positions that we took there, each of them were excellent learning experiences. So while we had to stop that desk for a short period, the learnings were always there within myself, my team, especially the teams. We used to constantly talk about them and see how we could revive that. So when I got this opportunity in marketing, I was to work in marketing, first at aviation, and then at LPG. I was always constantly on the lookout to see how we could structure a product which could help either manage my profitability, or from the consumer's perspective, cap his costs and improve my profitability. For example, in the case of LPG, we had some customers where I was just buying at a refined transfer price and selling at refined transfer price. While it was helping in improving the volumes, market share, it was not adding to my bottom line. So coming from a finance background, the objective was always to see how we could improve profitability. And then marrying the learnings that I had in oil price risk management, with the help of our oil price risk management team, we were able to structure a product. And I should say I'm very privileged to have handled that the selling aspect of this also, wherein I had an excellent team in the LPG business, where with Mohit Dhawan and Bhavyang Shah and Anand and Mr. Misri, who was heading it. Everybody was so supportive. They gave me the opportunity where, and in a commercial role, that's the biggest advantage, where you could actually play multiple roles. Where I remember I stood up and I was able to sell this proposition, while the receiving entity was also fairly experienced in managing prices. It took us a while, but we persisted, and we were able to come out for the first time with a product where fixed prices were offered to the consumer. It's over 25-30% of their costs were fuel costs. So they were interested in how in LPG there is a trend that during the winter months the prices go up. So how we could help them or protect themselves from this from the increase in prices. So we gave them a product where we hedged the exposure in the international markets with the help of risk management team, oil price risk management team, fixed their fuel costs, and I was able to add a significant margin. And I should say from zero to it came, the margin that we added was 1,500 rupees per metric ton. That's the kind of increase that we managed. And we ran that particular trade for close to about 6 to 8 months. And I'm sure, and that was then set rolling, the ball got set rolling. Today,
so that become a trend now.
It has become a trend in other businesses also. My colleagues who have had experience in this desk have started applying their learnings. And this is the differentiator that we have been in a highly commoditized market. It is these sort of things which can differentiate your service, your product, because then you look at it in a combined manner. Okay, what is this company offering you? They are offering me much more value. And ultimately it's improving your bottom line.
That's the product differentiation.
That's the differentiation that we could bring about actually. So that was an very interesting period. Both in aviation, I had a very short period, but we were able to bring it. And LPG, since I was there for quite a while, after a lot of persuasion, we were able to get one. But I think it was a good foundation that I was able to lay. And I credit this for all the exposures that I got, my seniors who gave me that exposure, the team who worked, And ultimately, all this works is an outcome of
Yeah,
team effort.
it's a
And
team
thanks to the team that we were able to implement it.
Thank you, sir. Now we talked about profitability, how you have done some great initiatives to bring about the profitability. Now you are at the helm of the company's profitability. You are the CFO of the company. So, what are the specific challenges that you foresee in your this current role? And do you have certain specific projects in mind which will really boost up the profitability in the coming time for HPC?
I think we are ahead. We are at the cusp of exciting times ahead.
Okay.
And why I say that is, we are at this point where our capex or investment cycle is sort of coming down. We are looking at our projects being ready for generation of revenue. So all the labor that we have spent in terms of labor, the money that we have invested significantly, that is expected to return money to us.
Okay.
And for any organization, there is always investment cycle. Then there is a period when we start reaping the benefits before we go in for the other side. So we are at that particular point inflection when we are expecting that the businesses that we have set up, the capex that we have put in, will return us money. Having said that, this investment cycle has obviously led to an increase in my borrowings. Because it's always good to have, in financial parlance, to have leverage, because that is most tax efficient. So to that extent, because we have embarked on this, the borrowings are high. And we had, as you would know, in the last couple of 2 years, the pricing regime in the domestic market has also been challenging. There have been international events which have impacted the internet prices, which has got a direct bearing on the retail selling prices of MS and HSD. And in 22-23, we had a difficult year because we couldn't pass on the increase in prices. And that impacted us because we had to continue with our investments in the capex, because we have to set those assets. It was important for us to create those assets quickly so that they start generating revenue for us. So today, this behind us, we have had a following year, we have got excellent profits, record profits, as we have seen. So that has now put us on a very firm footing. Now, having said this, what remains is quickly closing out the one key project that we have got in Vizag, which is the reserve upgradation facility. That project is coming with a lot of expectations because it's going to improve the margins of Vizag refinery and put it on a pedestal, which I think will become an envy to most of the other refineries, frankly speaking. And all our stakeholders also looking with much anticipation to this particular project. So that should be up and running, as I understand from my friends in the refinery stream, that we will have a mechanical completion somewhere this quarter and stabilization happening next. So as we progress over to the next year, cash flows will improve, our refining margins should improve. While the international environment may take whatever shape, it will allow me to generate or squeeze out more value from that 1 barrel of crude that I'm processing at Vizag.
Correct.
So that is very important. Our ability in the past, we didn't have this bottom upgradation, and effectively we were exporting fuel oil and naphtha, which are all at loss. While we will have, since we always market more than what we produce, and we will be able to live within our own production going forward. Yes, diesel could be a product which I may have to export, but that is something as a group we could manage. But this is one part of it. The second part of it is where we have invested in our joint venture refinery at HRR. And completion of projects, the theme is that basically to see that my projects complete and they start reaping benefits. That will help me lighten the burden on this. But this is a normal business cycle. Nothing to get perturbed. We need to manage our assets, and the timing and early completion is most important. That's what my ardent request to all the teams would be involved in these projects, including us. We would also be supporting them, is to see how these projects can come quickly on stream so we can start generating revenues. Now, these are as far as projects are concerned. So if you ask me personally, having gone through such a large project investment cycle, it's always better to step back, take a small holiday on capex, see the returns, improve your financial parameters like debt equity ratio, your profitability, net worth, all that becomes steady. And then in the meanwhile, you look at projects, the drawing, new projects. We are doing that, and I'm sure because one important aspect is allocation of capital, and as a CFO and as I think that is an important focus area on how well are we allocating capital, in the sense that are we allocating capital to the right businesses which is going to give me the good returns. The stakeholder watches it from that perspective.
Yeah.
While we may be a public sector company, there's a good amount of shareholders outside, and today we are being watched closely in the market. As you know, from November of last year, we've had a very good run up in the prices. And PSU as a segment itself is being looked up, which was ignored for quite a while now. So we have also actually played our part in projecting that this is the investments that we have made and these will start returning. So all our stakeholders are looking up to us. So the challenge, if you ask me, is to see that we are able to as a team HPCL, we are able to reap the benefits out of it and retire debt and come to a comfortable position before we can start off the other aspects of this. In terms of other aspects, we have moved into SAP as we will be looking to leverage the benefits from there and automate as far as possible most of our processes and improve efficiencies. We are on that. We are not reached there. While we have migrated to SAP, since we have always got a very young and energetic team, the youngsters always look for monotony is something which people don't like, and that can be overcome by working around and making process efficient, and that's what our focus would be, and continuously we're looking at doing it so that ultimately our teams spend longer time in analysis and coming out with more value added suggestions which will improve business. So this is where I think my thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for elaborating it. You spoke about your friendships in Vizag refinery. You have had a very diverse career. You have worked in marketing, you have worked in refinery, and throughout your career, you have built lasting relationships with your friends who are there in functions, and not only in finance but outside. So, how does that help in your success and the success of the organization and the whole?
Yeah, I was initiated into HPCL at Vizag Refinery, and I didn't even know about Vizag before I moved in from my place in Chennai. But I would say it was an experience of a kind, and for some reason I had colleagues all around me who were engineers, either from operations or maintenance. And while at office you're working with your finance teams, but I think what really helped me, which I will explain, is that my immediate circle around me at home and around, because we had friends who I had some close friends in maintenance, in operations, and some supervisors also in my tenure in Vizag. It will be news that I had one of my seniors who called me for a refinery turnaround. Now, finance person has got nothing to do apart from at that point in time to settle bills, but I have participated in a turnaround thanks to the seniors of that time, Mr. Marar and Mr. Lakshman Venugopal, who actually gave us the opportunity to experience that. Correct. My close friends who the conversations at home used to be on the nuances of refinery operations, maintenance, and the early days I was given the role of financial concurrence, where procurement of items, projects, everything. It was I was actually designated as a project officer for the VREP2 project, and I got initiated into all of that. And in terms of even when it was procurement, the inputs that I got from my colleagues, I used to go to the warehouse to look at what this thing, understand what it is, and I was able to at that point itself bring about the concept of maintaining this inventory levels at the levels that you really need, looking at economic order quantity, what are the levels you need to buy. Vizag had a very good system of binning numbers and all that, but yes, you could find the same inventory item lying somewhere else, but my interactions with my team gave me a good sense of the business, and which I believe stood me in good stead in my later part of the career. Like something like understanding refinery operations. And I had some very good today. Some of them are still there. Seshachala is there, who were actually, they were solid people in their own right in terms of refinery technical and operations. So
technical and commercial. Both
yeah. So I believe that was a very enviable mix that I got. Later in life, when I was in when I chose to requested for movement to IMA, and I was selected for integrated margin management. this experience in the refinery actually helped me. And I was there again given a role which was divergent to the finance role, where Mr. Paude asked me to handle the part of the refinery planning and backcasting. So this is a pure technical role.
Okay.
But I was able to, and I had an excellent team at that time also. So I would say that these relationships that we created outside my domain was very important in helping me understand the business. And for any finance person, my thought would be, or rather whenever I engage with them, what I say is, understand your business trends, when you can, that will help you deliver your particular function much more efficiently. You'll be able to relate to their problems. And that is most important. You're able to lend here, appreciate what they're saying. And it'll also help you, you cannot be taken for a ride. So you know what it is, and then that will help you deliver your best. So that's where I believe the relationships matter, and I continue to say, outside your domain always helps.
That's a very good thought, sir, and I believe all the finance persons who are watching this interview will gain a lot from this, and they will try to imbibe that in their own career and going forward. So now going to your personal side, you have throughout your early life, you have drawn a lot of inspiration from your grandmother and mother, which has shaped your persona, your personality. If you would like to talk about it.
There again I probably got sent is what I would say. I have been all around surrounded by some very strong women, and that's where I consider that they are forced to reckon with, actually speaking, and a lot to learn from the women, I would say. I had my grandmother who even at 75, 80, I belong to Kerala, and we used to have this whole large huge houses, farmlands. And this lady, even at that age, we all used to look up at her on her ability to manage things independently. Whole workforce, the farmers, the people who come in for work, measurement of the farm produce, and all of them independently running that huge large house. Those were the earlier days. We all, as cousins, sisters, everybody, we used to look up to her for that's the strong ability. And then when my own life, when I came, in the case of my mother, I lost my father fairly young when I was in the 9th, and my sister was also about 4-5 years younger to me. She took a decision saying that no, I will continue wherever I am. We were in Chennai at that time, and I will take up a job and I'll support me. There was a lot of pressure from the family to move into the village. I think that would have been a different path if that had happened, considering the environment at those times. And I should tell you, she was responsible in bringing us back from the dumps, and from where we are today. Significant part of the credit I owe it to her. What she did for us in creating that environment, nothing much, creating that environment. And I also embarked on this course, which was not that easy. And I had my fun in college because I did my CA after my graduation. I had fun in college. At that time, there was no thought of CA, and then promptly after college, I decided I'll do my CA. Not paying much heed that there is this person who's actually struggling to get. And back of mind, many people were telling her this course is going to take long or it's going to be tough. And but she stood through the decision, supported us, me fully, and we are here. I'm where both of us are doing
she
fairly
must be
well.
Very proud of
yeah, and she is proud, and I'm continuing to be amazed on the capacity of women, basically their ability to multitask. This is something which I don't think we'll be able to replicate because they are able to do multiple things. Part of it, yes, that's where I'm trying to bring in, and that soft, as women, they are able to display both the sides, and that's something which I try to bring in while engaging with my teams. One is that camaraderie among the teams is something which I try to bring in, and those are my critical learnings from them.
Thank you, sir. Just one last question on the personal side. You are an avid music lover, and I believe that you play violin also, so something on that.
Yeah, it's very important, I would say, to be rooted to your passions. And yes, I would say that singing, music and singing especially, I used to, from my younger days, I used to be, starting from a bathroom singer, I would say. My neighbors used to make a lot of things that but sort of I didn't realize that, and the means at that time didn't allow me to take up a professional music. Otherwise, I would have actually moved into that field, is what I would say. Today, I'm continuing to be a student of music. In my weekends, depending on the time availability, I have enrolled myself for a class in Carnatic music, and whenever it's possible, I sit.
That's beautiful.
I sit for that. While the age, teacher has to be a little more patient, because probably I'm not as receptive a student at this age. But I would say learning at any point in time keeps you live and alert. And something like music, while it's relaxing, the nuances, especially something, if you take something like Hindustan or Carnatic, they give you that, since you have to focus on the nuances, it helps bring in a lot of focus in whatever you do. And that is where I feel that while it is a passion which I've carried forward, singing is something I continue to do. And I mean, almost before I go to bed, I am either humming or singing something at the time. It gives me a good relaxation, and that's something I enjoy. And violin, yes, something that I was learning in my days when I was in international trade, but the days of training at office, the work couldn't permit me to continue the training. But still, whatever I have learned, whenever I get an opportunity, not that I could progress well, because I had to stop that. Thereafter, I moved to vocal singing, and that I'm continuing to do. I enjoy that for the relaxation it gives me, and also since wherever it's possible to continue to be as a student, so that gives me an opportunity to be alert in my life.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. So, it will be wrong on my part if I end the interview talking about music and not asking you to sing 2 lines. So if you would please sing 2 lines and then we'll wrap up.
कहीं दूर जब दिन ढल जाए, सांझ की दुल्हन बदन चुराए, चुपके से आए, मेरे ख्यालों के आंगन में, कहीं दूर जब दिन ढल जाए, सांझ की दुल्हन बदन चुराए, चुपके से आए.
Thank you very much, sir. It was really lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. I enjoyed every bit of it.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your invaluable insights and strategic vision with us today. Your leadership in driving financial innovation, managing risks, and delivering exceptional results has clearly played a pivotal role in shaping HPCL's continued success. As you take on the additional charge of CFO, it's evident that your experience and forward-thinking approach will further strengthen HPCL's position in the industry. To our amazing viewers, we are overwhelmed with gratitude for the phenomenal response to HP Unplugged. Your love and enthusiasm have fueled our passion to bring you inspiring stories from HPCL's visionary leaders. Share your thoughts, suggestions, and feedback in the comment section below. Your inputs will help us craft even more engaging episodes that resonate with you. Till then, thank you and namaskar.